Some stuff broke since our last show. Some big news. We kind of talked about it, but it was never a formal investigation. But now we can actually get into it a little bit. But this past weekend, after some speculation, which we talked about, it was reported that the NBA is investigating the 76ers for possible tampering and early contact regarding the team's offseason free agent signings of James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Danuel House, the Philadelphia Rockets. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, the league is investigating whether the Sixers and James Harden have already reached a handshake agreement on a more lucrative future contract, which is an insinuation that would be the only way Harden would have taken such a significant discount, which would be in violation of the league's collective bargaining agreement. So many Sixers fans pissed off about this, saying that the league has a witch hunt against the team. Many fans reposting and retweeting Embiid's old tweet of they hate the process. So I'm going to ask you guys two-parter here. What do you all think about this investigation? And do you think Adam Silver has it out for the 76ers?
You can go ahead and go, Teja.
You want me to go first? Okay.
I think I may take a different stance from you.
Okay. I don't think. Okay, I don't know if you will. So I don't think Silver hates the Sixers, but okay, the last 5-7 years, we've gotten a lot of shit from them, right? The NBA, right? The process pretty much embraced tanking. Let's just be honest. We got a lot of negative attention from that. But now you have a bunch of teams doing that now, and it's like a cool thing to do, and people praise them online. We definitely weren't getting that before, but it's kind of like when you throw the personal foul. The first guy does the really bad penalty. You know, everyone dogs him on the media. Then when it becomes like a normal thing, and he get praised for it. I'd say they had it out. I'd say they have a lot more out for us if we were the only team getting investigated. We're not. The Knicks are also getting investigated too. So that kind of hurts the whole we're being isolated, you know, and that. B, last year, Bulls and Heat both got investigated for it, and Heat lost a second rounder. If we lose a second rounder, I don't really care that much. And I personally think probably lose a second rounder for the early contact with Tucker. I think the whole Harden handshake, we'll say a footage of that. It's going to be so hard to not literally a handshake, but you know what I mean? I don't think they're going to be able to prove that, to be honest with you. But I don't really think they do. I think they're just trying to prove a point across the league, and they kind of have to do it at this point. And look, if you're a boss or you own something, I bet you the Heat called and complained. You can't ignore that, especially the Heat of the team that got penalized for it last year. So they have to look into it. They have to, right? So otherwise, then it's unfair. Then you have Riley and the Heat going, well, that means you don't like us then because you went after us, and now I'm telling you they did it. Look into it. So that's my roundabout way.
Eric, what are you thinking?
Here's my first take. The difference with Chicago and Miami, who lost the pick last year, is they both signed guys to bigger deals. We got PJ and Danuel House. Great pickups for us. Not huge deals compared to the other guys last season.
So it's like a felony and a misdemeanor?
No. What I'm saying is it's not like I don't even think either guy had bird rights with their previous team. So I'm saying, compared to last season, they couldn't have bird rights because they just signed 1-year deals. So compared to the guys in the previous year that from Miami and Chicago, those guys left teams where they could have made more money.
Yeah.
So I think when the guys are leaving and they could have made more money, and you kind of wonder like, okay, well, what's going on here? And sometimes, yes, the other team lets them walk, but I believe there's more incentive to try to get ahead of the curve when you have a situation like that. But in addition to that, I find it very, very curious in this media world where everyone wants to be first to announce everything. Can't even watch the draft without telling us who's already getting picked before we actually see it.
I hate
so
that.
in this world of I got to be the first to announce something, the same people that are telling us PJ's going to come to the Sixers are now the same people telling us the Sixers are getting investigated.
Yeah, they're wagging their fingers at us now.
So I don't get that. Like I do not understand how these same people that put all this stuff out there about the Sixers doing it are now saying, well, the NBA is investigating. Well, how did you know information before? Who told you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that doesn't sit well with me.
Maybe the agent to drum up more money for his client. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just saying, like somebody's putting all this out here, and then saying the NBA is investigating. Well, you just never know where that's coming from. I just think you just never know where that's coming from. But obviously, it's coming from someone.
Because it's coming from.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to say any of the media's names, but I do know that some medias have connections with the front office. Some medias have connection with players.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know who does with each. I'm not going to name them, but I kind of know who does with each and where they get their information from. So I just find it very interesting that that always happens. But as far as James taking less, I don't know how you do that, because James could have come to an agreement and then just didn't sign. That happens. You come to an agreement, or you talk to them, they say, hey, here's the case. You take less money, we can go sign these guys. Well, I mean, if that's the case, that does take time to figure it out. Well, how is this going to look for me if I'm taking less money? How's this going to look? Now, you still can go and increase your salary next year, and everything's explained, and lawyers and agents and everybody talk. That takes time. So to just blow it off and say it's just wing deal, it could have happened, but I think it's highly likely that James, like he said, wants to win. So why can't that just be it?
Yeah.
Are they insinuating that it's taken so long because we were figuring out his next contract? Is that pretty much like more or less the claim? Like it took a little.
No, I don't think because I'm just saying it takes long to figure that out.
No, I know.
I think that they're saying
it took a while.
I think it's only because you have a guy that most guys in this league aren't quote unquote giving back 15 million or 14 million.
They just don't get criticized.
They just aren't doing that. You know, you have a guy like Russell that opts in, and then all of a sudden people mad because he opts in.
Yes. Then the other guy, guy takes
that
less.
is his money, man. Everybody in the world would opt into that contract, and y'all get mad at him for opting in, calling him selfish. What?
But you have someone else.
It's his money, though. It's his money. It's his right, his option.
Oh,
it's
of course.
His money.
No.
So now I think that since a guy is opted out of money to take a good chunk away, it has to be, well, why would he do that?
Yeah, it's got to be foul play in there.
It has to be some kind of a reason. And I guess they're buying that when James say, I want to win, I want to sacrifice to win, they aren't buying that. So it has to be somewhere down the road. Well, they done promised him a deal down the road.
That's so dangerous, though, because it's like,
yeah, it's dangerous, but I don't know how you can prove that.
Yeah.
But I guess the logic of the logic is really about guys just don't give back 15 or $12+ million and take 1 year deal for less.
But I've read so many articles this offseason about like how all the max contracts are going to players and their values of the actual players themselves are far exceeding what they're getting paid. And it's going to ruin the league eventually because all these teams are giving incredible amounts of money because they're scared to lose out on a player.
Well, I mean, I don't understand how people can say it's going to hurt the league because a lot of people really don't understand the NBA and the collective bargaining agreement. The NBA's salaries and the collective bargaining, the amount is growing, right? Mm-hmm. But the number of players aren't growing. Just like it's a maximum, it's a minimum that teams have to pay.
Mm. Yes.
So
the Sixers got trouble with that a few years ago.
If the money is growing and you're not growing the amount of players, guess what? The players' salaries are going to grow. Mm. So like I've said before, they need to, like the two-way player, every team should have at least 5 two-way players.
Yeah. I feel like the top end
at each position, you should be
more than that, though, right?
You should be able to have. You should at least be able to have that in the rosters, and you should have players that split the time. Like the way the two-way player is set up, I think it may not be just like that, but I think they need to have more players like that. But it's hard to do when not every team has a G League team, so that's hard to do because you can have an advantage because with those other teams, but. I'm just saying if the number of players don't increase, but the money increases, then the amount per year for per players are going to continue to grow. I mean, you look now, the mid-level exception is what, 10, 11?
Yeah, I think it's billion? 10. Yeah, it's around 10.
When we put that in, I Bleav we put that in during the lockout. The first time was like 90, was it 99? If not 90, I think it was 99. It was like $2 million.
Yeah, it's gone up. Yeah, because
so I'm just saying. So look at that right there. So a guy can sign a 3-year deal mid-level and get $30 million, 3 years. So a guy could only when we put it in, a guy could sign for 6 years, and I Bleav it was like 6 years, $18 million. So if it's grown like that. But when I played, it was 15 players on the roster. Now it's 15 players on the roster. So if that salary is going up, how now can you complain that it's going to ruin the league? It's not going to ruin the league. The way the league is set up, and the way, especially in the NBA, majority of these people that own these teams would love to pay LeBron, Steph, Giannis, all those top guys, whatever they want to pay. They would love to do that. They would pay them whatever they could or whatever they had to, and then pay everybody else anything else. That's how it's always been in the NBA. They would love to be able to just do that.
But the problem is you have guys who aren't on Steph and LeBron's level getting paid that, though. And that is hurting their team because they're paying Steph prices for Bradley Beal. You know what I mean? Like that. I wouldn't say it's hurting the league. I'd say it's hurting certain teams because now, let's be honest, man, the Wizards.
So is the Wizards not making money? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the Wizards now are stuck in mediocrity because their best player, they're paying far beyond what he's worth as far as what the
worth what you can get.
I'm saying worth is in like when you compare him to who else is making that. Who else is making?
Well, that's not because he's not being compared to stuff because he makes the same amount of money. He makes the same amount of money because it's a cap.
No, I agree, but
so the cap shouldn't be blamed for giving Bradley Beal less. The cap should be to blame for not being able to give Steph more.
Yes, I agree with that too. But
so that's the issue. See, I understand what like people from the media look at it and say, well, he shouldn't make the same as Steph. Then from the player standpoint, is Steph should be able to get more. Mm-hmm. Not Bradley Beal take less. You see what I'm saying?
It's a little both, though.
How is it a little both when there are rules and there's things that you have to do in order to make that kind of money? You have to be at a certain status. You have to be able to have a certain amount of years, certain status to fit a certain salary. And then you have to be able to warrant it. So it's not like they're just, what I'm saying is it's not like they're giving it to him. Whatever it is, like just like the young players, the issue in the league used to be a rookie get drafted and make $60 million and he ain't played a game.
I think
that was an issue. So now it's an issue where a rookie after 1 year, playing 3 years, gets the same salary as a guy that's played 10 years. So they've put in the different things to fix that. It was no different than Derrick Rose on the rookie contract. Gets MVP, and now they put in the Derrick Rose rule because you're able to get more based on certain things that you accomplish.
Accolades and whatnot.
The Larry Bird rule, because Larry Bird, it gave Boston an opportunity to keep their best player. That's why it's called the Larry Bird rule. That's how that Bird rule came in there. So all of those things are still in there that they're now allowing guys to make more money. So Ja and Zion got their contracts down there from a salary standpoint. They're up there, but their maximum is still less than Steph Curry's maximum.
Yes.
But Bradley Beal, once you get up there in years, and you're close in years, once you get to 7 or 10 years, the maximums are all the same.
I agree. It's eligible, and you should take as much money as you can. But then, if you're a team and you're sitting around with your GM and all your guys, you're like, Bradley Beal's a 36, 37. I'm just saying example. I didn't deep dive this. Bradley Beal's a $36 million player. He wants $50 million. If we don't pay him that, he's gone. Mm-hmm. So like you have two choices. You let your guy leave and let someone else overpay him, or you give him that money because he's just not going to stay for that. I think that's where the NFL has the franchise tag. You'd be like, we want you. Let's get a good deal going. We're going to tag you for 1 year. Let's figure out the contract over that year. But in the NBA, it's like you have a split. Like you have that second to be like, do you want this? No. Well, I'm going to leave you. Give me the extra $20 million. Fine. Let's just do it. And then how many times you see the next year they're trying to trade that guy? Almost like clockwork. Like, oh, guess who's on the trade block? The guy we just paid.
I get what you're saying, but the team still has an option.
They
for every one guy that they feel like they have to pay, trust me, it's been many, many more that they screwed.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, I don't feel bad.
So I mean, like we always say, like they can say, well, I have to pay this guy. No, you don't. Be bold, trade him, don't pay him. We just seen the Phoenix Suns do it.
Yeah.
Didn't they just do it to Ayton?
Yep.
So you did it then. So now all they did with Ayton was they pulled his value down for the next 4 years. Mm-hmm. And got one less year of a deal.
Let's bring it back to Harden. Harden does what most people don't do. It was like, all right, I want to be here. A, I want to make the team better. B, I don't need all of that money for this season. Let's figure out something. And then now he's getting criticized for that. The thing that people want, the thing that media wants players to do, actually think about team. Now it's being, we need to investigate these guys.
You look at both ends of the table. He took less. Russ opted in. Russ got criticized. James got criticized.
No win.
So which one should you do? I know which one I probably would have did.
Man, depends, I guess, how much you want that ring and how much you want that bling, I guess.
The difference is I believe that James feel that he has a chance to win a championship, and Russ is in the situation where every other day his name is coming up in trade.
Yeah.
So maybe that's trade me. You gonna trade me or you gonna move me? Then move everything.
Well, maybe that's why the media is pissed, because they're like, well, you have Philly on one hand saying, we'll take care of you next year. Don't worry about it. And the Lakers being like, please opt out, please opt out, please opt out. So that's the difference, right?
You ruined his name so much. Like he opt out, he wouldn't have got half. He wouldn't have got half of that.
Mm-mm.
Man, I would be, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to see when he becomes a free agent, what's going to happen with where he goes and how much he gets. That's a fascinating one, actually.
It is.
All I can say is he'll be quite all right if he never plays again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So he's top 75. He's made a good deal, got a great family.
Yeah.
He's going to be okay.
Made good money, great endorsements. He'll have endorsements for a long time.
Terrific. He's doing great.
Yeah. Be all right.
So let's say they find out that we talked to PJ Tucker beforehand and everything, but they can't prove this handshake deal with Harden. But next year he gets a pretty lucrative. I mean, can they open it up again and to investigate it if he gets the lucrative deal they thought they wink deal that they're insinuating?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Teja, I don't know. I don't know if it's because you can only go up so much each year. So I don't know what his increase can actually be.
I think that's different. He's gonna opt out of next year. So I think there is a max.
That's what I'm saying. So he opts out, and his max is going to be based on.
I don't think it's based on this year anymore.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is it based on what he makes this coming year, or is it based on the actual maximum amount that he can get? You know what I'm saying? Like how most players, you can only jump up. So I don't know if it's jump up, and if they jump up, say for instance his maximum is 50 million. Are they able to jump up the whatever it is, a 14 or 16, 18 million difference? Are they able to jump that?
I
don't know.
I saw people posting of what he could get starting next year. It is, I mean, it's high. It's not a percentage off of this. I think it's in like the 40s. I think it's back up there again.
So it's whatever his maximum is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it goes back to whatever his previous, like whatever his max
is, and then he can increase off that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, he's gonna get paid.
And
over fist.
Well, I mean, if he performed, then I think it's gonna come down to him performing.
Yeah. And if he doesn't perform, he's gonna opt into that player option if he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Either way. So yeah, I hope he plays well and opts out and takes more money. I'm okay with that. Cool.
And judging by those videos so far this offseason, look at him, he's looking pretty good. And I know we've been bit by that before. We judge a guy based on his videos, and then that does not happen at all during the season. But in
that pickup game, he did a step back mid ranger.
The Sam Cassell drills are working.
Yeah.
Did he just shoot a regular mid range?
No, he was kind of a sidestep, kind of fade mid range.
So it wasn't a regular one.
No, just like a cat. No way. He still did his little hop step.
I'm just asking.
Hey, it's something.
I'm just asking, so I know. I'm just asking if I know.
We're going in the right direction at least.
Baby steps. Step back from the mid range.